A very good evening, everybody. Great to see you all. So, let me put my headphones on. I'm going to do a couple of quick sound checks, but it is great to see everybody. I hope you're all very well. Lots of people online, lots of lovely people. Carol, hello Carol, and Lisa, and Brenda, and Gina, and Jean, and Debbie, and Nancy. Paul is cutting the hedge, quite right too. Hi Susanna, never sung Elijah. I've sometimes wondered why they don't perform it more often, but now I've realised why. It's quite a substantial work, isn't it? Fabulous. Oh, okay, so I know the sound works, that's good. Good. I'm just going to check in with Mark. And have a bit of piano, I think. I should just move my light reading from earlier on, this wonderful book that I've received in the post. I've been flicking through it. It's absolutely wonderful. Gorgeous job, everyone. Anyway, I shall move that out of the way for now. For a bit of light reading for later on. So, just check that I can hear the piano all right. Great to see everybody. Oh, lovely. Thank you, Brenda. I've just seen your comment. Technically, they're called pots. Those little things that one twiddles. Fiddling with one's pots, as opposed to your choice of word. But yes, good. So that's all fine. I'm just going to do a bit of a sound check here. I'm going to turn this down briefly. And we'll have a bit of help, Lord. Ready? Let's push it up a bit louder. And maybe a little bit more. Good. Marvellous. I think we're there, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, there it is. So, all is well. Sound works. Fab. Good. So, how are we doing? Gosh, lots and lots of altos online. That's 107 concurrent views. 41 likes already, and we haven't done anything yet. Thank you, folks. Helen says, need some Elijah to lift me after Boris press conference. Oh, I've clearly missed that. I shall have to check in later on. Oh dear. Right. Well, that's all the plans for choirs coming back. God, so, well, it's a good thing, ladies and gentlemen, that singing in the self-isolation choir is 100% COVID safe, provided that you sing at home in self-isolation. And we've got the best music. Honestly, if you can find any choir in the world that's doing a better programme than us this year, let me know, because I'd love to hear it. You know, is there anyone else who's done Messiah, Vivaldi Gloria, Elijah, and Marla 2, and this Christmas programme? I mean, it's all here. All right, folks. So I'm sorry if you're understandably put out, shall we say, by the recent virus developments. But you know what? Let's just have a good old sing-song. Yeah? Brill. So who else is here? Hi, Glennis. Hello, Julie. You've updated your profile pic. Excellent. I can't quite see it. I saw a sort of lumberjack shirt. She's a lumberjack and she's okay. She sleeps all night and she works all day. Sorry, had to. Hello, Brenda. Hi, Jane and Christine and Breda. Great to see you. And Fran and John. Actually, it's not John. It's Carol. Carol using John's account. Carol, who's called John. Other way around. John, who's called Carol. Brenda Pruitt, 63 likes. Tickle the thumb, says Brenda. Thanks, Brenda. Hello, Moira. Hello, Ulla. Great to see you. So you're a soprano listening in. Fabulous. Hello, Paula. Thank you. I'm really glad you like the programme. I think it's amazing. Having such a good time. Hello, Gillian. The greatest programme ever. Thank you. Jane, are we scuppered permanently? I don't think it's permanent, but it's a matter of we've got to... I think they're banning meetings of more than 6. So, yeah. Tricky. Hello, Cara. Great to see you. Still very sunny in Madrid, but no choirs happening here either. Well, this is where it is. All right, if you want to come and sing with us. Things with the self-isolation choir are absolutely fantastic and going in a really good direction, folks. We can't tell you all the developments that are happening, but Mark and I speak every day, and there are some amazing things coming up. So fabulous. Do consider Barbara saying, do continue with the second line of I'm a Lumberjack. I want to see how you work that one out. Was that the one that goes, I chop down trees, I eat my lunch, I go to the lavatory, on Wednesdays I go shopping and have buttered scones for tea. That's the second line. After that, it gets a little bit more interesting, but that's where I draw the line, just there. Who else is here? Hello, Lindsay. Your sixth Elijah. My goodness, a true Elijah. I think, is there anyone here who's sung in or performed Elijah more than 6 times? Let us know. Lindsay has done it 6 times. This will be my third time conducting. So you've beaten me, Lindsay. You are more of an Elijah than I am. Having said that, I'm going to see if I can cultivate the beard. I think the beard is a little bit short if I want to lead Elijah. I think I need a great big Elijah beard. Like David, one of the choristers one of our choristers who tweeted me this amazing photograph of several months worth, his lockdown beard, and it was proper Elijah beard. Ah, fab. Superb. New password. Great stuff. Oh, amazing. Well, how's everybody doing? Not before the watershed. Exactly, Anne. Quite. Mark is absolutely great, and I think that should be the next password. Mark is fantastic. All one word. Good. I'm just going to text Mr. Strawn, just to check all is well. Excellent. Only 3 times, says Pam. Marie's done 4. Oh, did I miss one? Did I miss someone who's done it loads of times? Ruth, 7. Right. Ruth is now in the lead with 7 performances of Elijah. Sue says only 5. Oh, amazing. Right, well, there's lots and lots of people who've sung this many, many times. But you know what? It doesn't matter if you've sung it 15 times or if this is your first time. It's just the most amazing work. This evening, altos, once we get started, well, we're going to be moving fairly quickly. It became very, very clear to me yesterday in the soprano rehearsal that there's a lot of music in this piece, if that makes sense. A lot of notes. And so we're going to need to move at a good speed. And just bear that in mind, folks. Okay, if we miss any, if you miss any of it, remember you can stop it, rewind it, fast forward it, do what you want to in order to get all of this music learnt. But there's a lot to do. So we'll get started in under a minute. If I could ask you to make sure you've got everything you need for the next hour, it's going to be full on. You're going to need a drink of water at least. I've got my coffee. In fact, I'm going to have a little slurp. Excuse me. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a reflection of how much effort's going to take to get us through this music. There's a lot. I'm drinking coffee at 5 p.m. That's saying something. Well, so it'll be Help, Lord. It will be Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer, and as much of Yet doth the Lord see it not as we can manage. Fabulous. So I think we'll get started. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Wednesday's rehearsal. This is the alto rehearsal for the Self-Isolation Choir's rehearsal for Elijah. And we had a great time with the sopranos yesterday, got through most of the music that I wanted to. But it was very clear there's a lot to get through. So tonight I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit. We're going to be looking at the first 3 chorus movements, starting with the second of the 2. We'll start with Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer, because that's actually quite low in the range and it'll be a good way to warm up. So we'll look at the chorus part for that first. Then we're going to have a look at something special, altos. Yesterday with the sopranos, we looked at the first treble part in Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer, the solo line. And we're going to look at the second treble part for you. So those of you that want to sing the solo line can do, and those of you that just want to sing the chorus line can do that. So we've got to learn that movement twice. Then we'll look at Help Lord, and then, as I said, whatever time left we've got, we'll look at Yet Doth the Lord See It Not. Many thanks to Diane and George from Miniola, who've sent me an altered sound file, which will hopefully help boost the volume when things get a bit quiet. Other than that, I think we should get started. Lots to do, so if I could invite you, please, to make sure you've got plenty of space around you, to stand up if you don't mind. If standing's not on the menu for whatever reason, as always, that's absolutely fine, but bring yourself to the edge of your seat. If everyone can plant their feet on the floor, shoulders width apart, straighten your back, make your neck nice and long, and take a couple of nice deep breaths in and out for me. And again, breathe in and out. Great, and one more deep breath in, and blow all the air away from you. Wonderful. Thank you. Roll your shoulders around a little bit, and then roll them forwards the other way. And then up to your ears, please. Take a deep breath and let your shoulders fall. Great. Tilt your head in one direction, to the middle and the other way, and to the middle and forwards, please. And to the middle, and within those three movements, just left, right, and forwards, let your head roll around, please. Great job. Thank you, altos. Okay, so the highest note I'm going to ask for you today is a D. So we're in no way approaching the dizzying heights of Mahler 2, but that'll be quite a high note and quite a loud note when we sing that one. So let's start off. We'll start on a middle C. We'll do a bit of humming around that low register, and then we'll use one of the lines from our second movement as a warm up going forward. So let's start off with a nice hum. Hum with me, and still humming. Now ooh, ooh, and oh, oh, oh. Lovely. Now an F for egg, please, and very, very nice. Now, what we're going to do, something slightly different. Could we just sing, Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. And, Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Very nice. Now sing, Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. And, Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Very, very nice. Could you now sing, Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer, and Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Excellent. Thank you very much indeed. That'll do for a warm-up, I think, today, altos. Could you turn to number 2 in Elijah? Now, if you're using this score, do bear in mind that I'm going to be referring to our score that we've sent out. Please note we've sent out a new version today, and we're massively thankful to, I'm afraid I can't remember the name of the person who's helped us. Mark, tell me in the comments, would you, so I can thank them. One of our wonderful choristers has gone through and de-pinked the score, so it's now purely black and white. It'll be much easier to print, much easier to read. It is otherwise completely identical to the score we sent out. The only difference is that it's black and white rather than full colour. So number 2, this is Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. And if you look at your score, please, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see it says first treble, second treble, and then treble alto on one line. It's a third line down, and tenor bass. What we're going to do to begin with is we're going to start with the third line down, treble alto, and we'll go all the way through. We'll sing it, and then we're going to look at the second treble line, which is the second line down. Okay, so first of all, at the start of this, well, this will be familiar, because we sing, Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Okay, before we sing it, just notice there's a sforzando, which means we hit that first note with a bit of an oomph. That's the little SF above the note, sforzando. So it's, Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. And we get quieter through that line, and the last note is 2 beats. All right, sing that with me. And 1. Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Splendid. Thank you very much. Watch me for the end of that. That's great. You'll see that the tenors and basses dovetail, and you've got to make sure that you don't stop singing until they start singing the word bow. Lovely. So that's the first page done. Well done. Over onto the second page of this movement. In our free score, this is page 14, and we're still on that third line down at the top, and you'll see, Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Okay, should be familiar because we've just sung it. Same again, there's a sforzando on the first note, but this time instead of getting quieter, it says crest, we get louder, and we still hold that last note for 2 beats. Sing for me, and 1. Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Excellent, well done. Okay, good. So now at the bottom of that page, we sing on a G. Now, that's obviously very familiar. It sounds like the first 2 movements, but actually the pitches are different, so listen to it. Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Okay. So sing that for me. And notice before you do, by the way, there's no sforzando here. It's piano, it's quiet, and the last note is still 2 beats. With me, and 1. Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Good. And then over the page, you see the phrase carries on. Bow thine ear to our prayer. Okay, so let's sing that whole phrase, going from the bottom of page 14, Lord, bow thine ear, and 1. Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Bow thine ear to our prayer. Fabulous. Well done. Excellent. Okay, so we are doing very well. We're about halfway through the movement already. Halfway down page 15, we get a restatement of that first entry. Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. And by this point, you'll already be looking at dynamics in a little bit more detail because this is a very, very detailed piece in terms of dynamics, way more than Handel would ever have used. And so this one, even though it's a direct restatement of the first statement, is pianissimo. Very quiet indeed. Okay, fabulous. So now we're at the bottom of page 15. And don't worry, we will sing all this through in just a minute. Now we have a Lord just on its own. Okay, and I appreciate at the moment you're thinking, how am I going to get these notes? Well, the various lines will sort of feed you the notes. If you look at the top treble line, just before you come in on your Lord, the treble actually sings 2 A's. When they sing, and there is neither help nor comfort at the start of that line on page 15. So if you're in any way worried about getting your A, maybe just circle that note and draw a little arrow down to the sforzando on Lord, because it's literally just a held note that you hit with force and then die away. So it's 1, 2, Lord, and that's all that is. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Over the page, we've got 2 more Lord, bow thine ears to our prayers, as it were. So at the top of page 16, it is very quietly, Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. And notice it's a short prayer at the end there. So sing for me, Lord, and 1. Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Fantastic. So that was the one at the top of page 16. We're now in the middle of page 16. Okay, middle of page 16 here. Same as the opening, just with different dynamics. It's 1. Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Okay, now that's the last full statement of Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer in the middle of 16. And once you've sung it, hold that last note in your head for the 3 bars of silence, because then when you come in, it's the same pitch, just quietly. It's bow thine ear. Sing for me, and bow thine ear. Splendid. Well done. Now, I know that's a very bitty piece, but it's quite low, and I thought it would be a good way to start off with as a warm-up. What we'll do now, ladies and gentlemen, is to sing it all the way through. So could you turn, please, to the start of that movement? This is number 2, Lord, bow thine ear, and we will sing along with the recording. Hugely grateful to George and Diane for rebalancing this for us. So we'll use the recording they've just sent through. So there's your entry. All right. So in after 1. Ready, 2, 1. Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Off. Good. Now the soloists. one.
Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Bow thine ear to our prayer.
And one.
Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer.
And
Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer.
ready, and one.
Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer.
Now keep that note in your head. And well done, well done. That's a tricky one, that, because you're buried away in the texture. You obviously, as altos, you're used to being in the middle of the sound, but here you're actually third down. So it's tricky to read and it's tricky to follow. Practice that one for me, please, altos. Now, having said that, let's have a look, please, at this second treble line. The highest note in this is a D. So those of you who consider yourself first altos or even mezzos, have a little look at this. Now, this is in no way compulsory. You can sing that treble line that we've just learnt if you wish to, and it'd be lovely if loads of you did. But I know there are some people out there who are just dying to have a go at this solo. All right, so if you want to sing the top line, have a look at yesterday's soprano rehearsal, because we learned the whole thing. We're going to look at the second line down for the next 5-10 minutes before we move on and have a look at one of the louder movements. Okay, so back to the beginning of this movement, please, everybody. Have a sip of drink if you need to. Cheers. Fabulous. So, most important thing to note about the very opening of this is you come in on a very unexpected note. Okay, you come in on that note and you get no help at all. It's all ease. Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Zion spreadeth the hands for aid. Okay, this is one of those moments where practicing along with the recording will really help. You just need to know where the note is. It's a little bit like reaching and taking something off a shelf. You're not stretching for it. You know exactly where it is. You're just going to reach out and there's the note. All right. Let's have a look at this first line. This is much more melodic rather than a sort of chant, what we've just been singing. So your line from the top of page 13, remember this is the second line down, second treble. After one is one. Zion spreadeth the hands for aid, and there is neither help nor comfort. It's not a pretty line. So listen to it again. Sing along if you like. And one. Zion spreadeth the hands for aid, and there is neither help nor comfort. Sing that with me one more time. And one. Zion spreadeth the hands for aid, and there is neither help nor comfort. Okay, just before we move on, just note in that little part where the parts are moving by step, by next door neighbour, and by leap. And just practice, and there is neither help nor comfort. That's a little bit trickier. Okay, we're now at the bottom of page 13. And so we'll go from the bottom of page 13. Zion spreadeth her hands for aid, to the top of 14 where it says comfort. Okay, so we're in after one and it's one. Zion spreadeth her hands for aid, and there is neither help nor comfort, neither help nor comfort. Okay, let's break that up into parts. Zion spreadeth her hands for aid. First at the bottom of 13 is one. Zion spreadeth her hands for aid with me, and one. Zion spreadeth her hands for aid. Excellent. It's a short note on aid. You can take a breath because you're then coming in on a G, and your next phrase is one. And there is neither help nor comfort. Okay, sing that for me. And one. And there is neither help nor comfort. Great. And then just descending. Neither help nor comfort. And neither help nor comfort. Fabulous. Can we go from the bottom of 13, please, alto? Zion spreadeth. Rolling your R's if you don't mind. Thank you. And 1. Zion spreadeth her hands for aid, and there is neither help nor comfort. Neither help nor comfort. Well done. Thank you. Excellent. So now we have a little bit of chanting from the main choir, Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. This next bit is lovely. There's so many moments in Mendelssohn's writing where he gives the altos that anchor note that we've spoken about before. You'll sing the same note over and over again, and everything else will change around you. And you are the thing that holds the harmony together. And this is one of those moments. Middle of 14, just that second line down. And what I'll do is I'll sing and play from the middle of 14 to the bottom of 14, from Zion to comfort. Okay, so it's 1. Zion spreadeth her hands, she spreadeth her hands for aid, and there is neither help nor comfort. Okay, so let's do the first Zion spreadeth her hands. It's 1. Zion spreadeth her hands, and 1. Zion spreadeth her hands. Excellent. Then the next one is she spreadeth her hands for aid, and she spreadeth her hands for aid. Excellent. And then just to finish it off is, and there is neither help nor comfort, and 1. And there is neither help nor comfort. Excellent. Can we go back to the middle of 14, please? Zion spreadeth her hands. And 1. Zion spreadeth her hands. She spreadeth her hands for aid. And there is neither help nor comfort. Well done. Thanks, altos. Before we move on, can you just notice, just on that bit we've just sung, there is a performance direction, which is dolce, which means sweetly. So as you're singing it, make it so, so beautiful, particularly when you hear with the soprano part. It's absolutely glorious. Now, the last bar of 14... You'll notice we're going to be singing top D here. So this needs to be a bit stronger. There's a crescendo through it. I'm not going to try and sing it at your pitch. Nobody wants to hear me sing a top D. So I'm going to drop down the octave, but you're up here. Okay, so let me sing and play your line from the last bar of page 14 in our score here to the second bar of 15. So it's 1. And there is neither help nor comfort with me. And there is neither help nor comfort. Excellent. And that's quite strong. As you can probably tell, it's up in your register, and it's a big, big moment. So make that good and strong. So now we're at the top of 15, doing very well over halfway through this piece already. So what I'll do is I'll sing you the next section from 15, from Zion spreadeth her hands for aid, and there is neither help nor comfort, just in the middle of 15. So after 1, it's 1. Zion spreadeth her hands for aid, and there is neither help nor comfort. You hear it's almost the same as at the open, but he's developing it. He's making it more interesting. So the first, let's sing that. Zion, starting on the C, and 1. Zion spreadeth her hands for aid. Excellent. Now listen. And there is neither help nor comfort with me, and 1. And there is neither help nor comfort. Yeah, it's quite tricky going up to the B, as I've just ably demonstrated. Make it calm foot, yeah? Help nor comfort. Okay, and then just to finish off the phrase is, and there is neither help nor comfort. Okay, so from the middle of 15, and 1, and there is neither help nor comfort. Fabulous. And just before we sing that from the top of the page, let's just sing the last 3 bars on this page. So the last 3 bars on 15 is 1, 2, and there is neither help nor comfort with me, and there is neither help nor comfort. Well done. Thanks, altos. Can we sing, please, from the top of 15, from the third bar, from Zion, starting on the C, to the bottom of that page, and then we're nearly there. And 1. Zion spreadeth the hands for aid, and there is neither help nor comfort, and there is neither help nor comfort, and there is neither help nor comfort. Fabulous. Over the page. So we haven't come to the end of the phrase, we've just come to the end of the page, but we are rapidly approaching the end of the movement. Now, here things get really very, very emotional. We've been moving mostly by step and by small leap. Now we start to leap by wider intervals, and that's a way that you show emotion in singing. So up and down the arpeggio, from top of 16, it's neither help nor comfort, sing for me, and neither help nor comfort. Excellent, excellent. And then, this is a really, really lovely moment when you sing, Zion spreadeth the hands for aid, and there is neither help nor comfort. It's really, really lovely. So let's look first at the Zion spreadeth the hands for aid. This is the third bar at the top of 16. Sing for me, and Zion spreadeth the hands for aid. Excellent. And then carrying on, starting on the same note, and there is neither help nor comfort. Sing for me, and 1. And there is neither help nor comfort. Great, well done. Can we go from third bar of 16 to there, please, altos? Okay, Zion, 1, 2. Zion spreadeth the hands for aid, and there is neither help nor comfort. Excellent. And then just the last phrase, I'm going to sing from the last bar, the middle of 16 to the end. It goes, and there, excuse me, and there is neither help nor comfort. Okay, let's look at that. So just the first 2 bars of that. So it's, and there is neither. Okay, so just sing that for me. The last bar in the middle of 16. And 1, and there is neither. And then it carries on. And there is neither help. Sing that for me, that's tricky. And there is neither help. And then, nor comfort. Sing that for me, and nor comfort. Splendid. Just before we sing the whole thing, can we go from the last bar of the middle of 16, please, altos? And there is neither. After 1, and 1, and there is neither, and there is neither help nor comfort. Splendid. Well done. Okay, I know we've really whizzed through that. All of this, of course, is recorded. You can stop, start it, do whatever you need to. Let's sing it through from the start. Now, if you don't fancy singing the solo in this one, then why not sing the chorus part that we learnt about 10 minutes ago along with it? But otherwise, let's sing along. Remember, we're singing the second treble line. I will sing with you. I can't promise to always sing at pitch, but I'll play along at the same time. So let's have some fun. Back to the beginning of Lord Bow Thine Ear, and then we're going to sing something a bit different, shall we say. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. So, oh, hang on. So this is the chorus. Tenors and basses. And Zion spreadeth the hands for aid, and there is neither help nor comfort. And 1. Zion spreadeth the hands for aid, and there is neither help nor comfort, neither help nor comfort. And
Zion spreadeth her hands, she spreadeth her hands for aid, and there is neither help nor comfort.
and
there is neither help nor comfort.
and
Zion spreadeth her hands for aid, and there is neither help nor comfort. And there is neither help nor comfort.
and
There is neither help nor comfort. Neither help nor comfort. Zion spreadeth her hands for aid, and there is neither help nor comfort.
and
And there is neither, and there is neither help nor comfort.
there we go. Bravo. Well done, altos. Phew, there's a lot of music to learn there, and you did that brilliantly. Okay, can we turn swiftly back to the first movement, please, and we'll sing something completely different. So this is the movement that launches straight in after the overture. The overture actually is a bit of an introduction to the choir. It's absolutely splendid, and there is this huge build. There's a massive, great big A7 chord, which leads us to this huge D minor chord. If you want to write drama, you write in D minor. Mozart knew that. Everyone knows that. So your line from the start of Help Lord, which is the first movement the choir sings, and this is on page 6 of our free score. The thing is with this one, as Mendelssohn said, the people must be introduced speaking and singing as living persons. So as we're singing Help Lord, you know, this is the cry of the people who have been cursed with, amongst other things, a plague. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to dig deep and find some emotion as we sing Help Lord, Wilt Thou Quite Destroy Us? Because, of course, it does sweeten as we go through, and we'll end up with a lovely, reassuring sound in a minute. But let's get a bit of drama going here. So I'll sing and play for you from the start of this movement, and we're going to sing the first, 6-7 bars from Help Lord to Wilt Thou Quite Destroy Us. Okay, so your first note is an A, which is quite handy because the orchestra plays a lot of them just before you come in, and it's after 2. 1, 2. Help, Lord. And then we sing Help, Lord. 2, 3, 4. Help, Lord. Wilt Thou quite destroy us? Okay, so what we'll do actually, because the tempo's moving quite slowly, let's learn this at double speed just because time is short. So we'll learn this at Help Lord at a faster crotchet speed just so we can get through it. So sing it a little faster for me. 2, 3, 4. Help Lord. And Help Lord. 2, 3, 4. Help Lord. Wilt Thou quite destroy us? Excellent. Excellent. You can probably hear that you have some really important notes on that third Help Lord. The da da da. Those are the kind of key notes in the chord that create the tension. So really dig in there and have fun. Great. Well done, altos. That's almost the first page learnt. You have one more note on the page. Have you spotted it? Right down at the bottom. On the right there, the harvest now is over, the summer days are gone, and this is this tune that the tenors introduce. It's got a lot of chromaticism. Chromaticism is a word meaning colour, and it means moving by semitone. And we have this: the harvest now is over, the summer days are gone, and yet no power cometh to help us. Okay, so this is it's a very nice tune. Be careful when you're coming down the scale by semitone. I always say smile with your eyes when you sing that sort of tune. The harvest now is over, the summer days are gone. That's far too high for me. But I know there's lots of altos out there for whom a top D is like, well, bring it on. Right, let's sing that together. I'm going to sing down the octave. You sing in your pitch. Ready? 3, 4. The harvest now is over. The summer days are gone. I managed it. Then we sing, and yet no power cometh to help us. Now, before you sing it, listen to it. Notice the 2 notes on meth 2. Okay, so sing with me. And yet, top of 7. And 1. And yet no power cometh to help us. Fabulous. Put the S of us, please, on the 3rd beat of the bar. Help us. And if you notice the crescendo and diminuendo over power, it's quite a dramatic swell here. And yet no power cometh to help us. As soon as you sing the note on cometh, and I would suggest car at the top there, start to diminuendo. Fab. Let's just put that tune together. The harvest now. From the last note of 6. Ready? 3, 4. The harvest now is over. The summer days are gone. And yet no power cometh to help us. Fab. Well done. Okay, so now we've got a little bit of a run here, lots and lots of notes. So let's go from the middle of 7, from the 2nd bar, and yet no power cometh to help us. Let's do the next 2.5 bars, which sounds like this. And 1, and yet no power cometh to help us. Okay, lots of moving by step, and the only thing to be careful of is the difference between the B naturals and the B flats. So listen. And yet no power cometh to help us. Sing with me. And 1. And yet no power cometh to help us. Fab. And then there's a little tail to that. No power cometh to help us. Listen to that again. 2, 3. No power cometh to help us. Sing for me. 2, 3. No power cometh to help us. And it's a very short note at the end of us because you've got to carry straight on with the harvest. So there's no space to breathe there. I would grab a huge breath as big as you can after help us at the bottom of 7 in that first bar. Cometh to help us, no power cometh to help us, the harvest, which is the last bar on 7. So let's have a look at that last bar, which is, the harvest now is over, the summer days are gone. Nice line there. Let's sing that together. This is the harvest now, the last one on page 7. Ready? 2, 3, 4. The harvest now is over, the summer days are gone. Fab. Well done. Now, at the top of 8, we're in that last bar. And so we'll have the next statement, which is, and yet no power cometh to help us. Just that from the top of 8. And it sounds like this. Okay, listen to it sung, and yet no power cometh to help us. Sing for me, and 1, and yet no power cometh to help us. Good. Now, the next thing is we need to drop down to the C. So we sing, and yet no power cometh to help us. Listen to it again. Sing for me, 1, 2, 3, and yet no power cometh to help us. Fab. And then just to finish off the line is 1, no power cometh to help us. Sing for me, and 1, no power cometh to help us. Splendid. Let's go from the top of 8, from the 3rd bar, please, and yet no power cometh to help us to the bottom of page 8. Okay, here we go. After 1, 3, 4, 1, and yet no power cometh to help us, and yet no power cometh to help us, no power cometh to help us. 3, 4, the harvest now is over, the summer days are gone. Now, we hadn't learnt that bit yet, but I'm sure you'll agree it's familiar. So let's sing that last phrase on page 8 of our free score, please. After 4, 3. For the harvest now is over, the summer days are gone. Now, this is a really nice bit for altos, okay? Because you get to be the top of the texture, and this is really intense. And I want you to sing, and yet no power cometh to help us. Listen to that again. Tension in that, it's so dramatic. And yet no power cometh to help us. Okay, sing for me after 1 and 1. And yet no power cometh to help us. Good, then it carries on. The harvest now is over, the harvest now is over. Let me play that for you because I made a bit of a hash of that. So from the top of 9, second bar. Okay, so let's sing the harvest now. This is the top of 9. After 2, 1, 2. The harvest now is over. The harvest now is over. Fab. Well done, everybody. Okay, can we please go back to the bottom of page 8? The bottom of 8, the harvest now. And we'll sing then to the middle of 9, and then there is a change, a real change in the style. Okay, so from the harvest, 3, 4. The harvest now is over, the summer days are gone, and yet no power cometh to help us. The harvest now is over, the harvest now is over. Okay, and that's really raw and really, really emotional. Then you have a beat to grab a breath and drop down almost an entire octave. Now, what I would suggest to you is as you sing that chord on over, because you've got to then find that note next. So what I would suggest is to think up from your last note, think up a tone, and then drop down an octave. Okay? Harvest now is over, will then the Lord... Okay, if that helps. So your next bit from the middle of 9 is three statements of will then the Lord be no more God in Zion. Okay, and I'll play all 3 of them for you now. Okay, and this is pianissimo. It's after 3, 2, 3. Will then the Lord be no more God in Zion? Will then the Lord be no more God in Zion? Will then the Lord be no more God in Zion? Okay, so you can hear they're all very, very closely related. The rhythm is the same, the words are the same, just the pitches are different between each one. So back to the first one, please, in the middle of 9. So it is. Will then the Lord be no more God in Zion? Sing for me. 2, 3. Will then the Lord be no more God in Zion? Will then the Lord be no more God in Zion? Is the next one. So sing that for me. 2, 3. Will then the Lord be no more God in Zion? Okay, and then staying on the same note, it's will then the Lord be no more God in Zion? And will then the Lord be no more God in Zion? Fab. Doing really, really, really well. So now, from carrying on, we're in the second bar of 10. We have just a very simple in Zion. Sing that for me. 2, 3. In Zion. Excellent. Now we're in the middle of 10, and we get the harvest now is over, the summer days are gone, and yet no power cometh to help us. Okay, again, very closely related to what we've already done, just the ending is different. So listen to it. Let's just sing that together. The harvest now from the middle of 10. 1, 2. The harvest now is over, the summer days are gone. Fab. Now listen to this next bit. And yet no power cometh to help us. Listen again. Sing for me. And 3. And yet no power cometh to help us. Fabulous. Can we sing from the middle of 10, please, altos? The harvest. 1, 2. The harvest now is over, the summer days are gone, and yet no power cometh to help us. Fabulous. Fabulous. We have one more page of loud singing and then one more statement, and we've learnt the entire movement, which is amazing. So the last bar, please, of 10, and I will play and sing for you from that bar to Zion on page 11 in the second bar on that page. Okay? So this is Will then the Lord, and 1. Will then the Lord be no more God in Zion. Okay, the end of that's not hard, is it? It's just the opening is a little bit tricky. So sing for me, and 1. Will then the Lord be no more God in Zion. Okay, now, you'll have noticed on that chord on Zion, it's a big moment. Sforzando, it's really strong. We have this big... It's like a big fanfare, big brass moment. So when you sing Zion, lots and lots of power and really give it some force, as marked. Okay? We then have a little bit of trumpet-type music. We sing, the harvest now is over. Sing that for me after 4, 3, 4. The harvest now is over. Fab. Thank you. And now we'll just go from the middle of 11 to the end of the page. Actually, no, tell you what, no, I'm lying. What we'll do is we'll go from the middle of 11 to the bottom of page 2 over, the first bar at the bottom of the page. So it's from Lord, middle of 11, it's 3, 4. Lord, the harvest now is over, is over. Okay, let's look at that in two halves. So, Lord, the harvest now is over. Okay, sing that with me from the second bar of the middle of 11. 3, 4. Lord, the harvest now is over. And you hold that note. We can take a breath if you need to. We go up to the C. It's is over. Ready after 4, 3, 4. Is over. Thank you. And then we move into this one note per beat, strophic singing. We sing, the summer days are gone. Sing that for me. And the summer days are gone. And then, and yet no power cometh to help us. And yet no power cometh to help us. So can we sing from The Summer Days Are Gone on the bottom line of 11? Sing with me. After 3, 2, 3. The summer days are gone, and yet no power cometh to help us. Okay. What I'd like to do, altos... Oh, there is one other thing. Could you turn over? We looked at this on Monday. There is one line for you. Oh, no, it's 2. Sorry. 2 lines. So let's have a look at it. On 12. We sing, the suckling's tongue now cleaveth for thirst to his mouth. You see? We have the sopranos coming first, then the tenors. And you sing, the suckling's tongue now cleaveth for thirst to his mouth. Sing that for me. And the suckling's tongue now cleaveth for thirst to his mouth. The infant children ask for bread. E naturals. And then at the bottom of 11, we come in on that note and we sing, and there is no one. And it's you again, turning quite a nice little chord, turning it into drama. There's the altos bringing the drama. So sing for me, and there is no one, and 1, and there is no one. Fabulous. Now look, we need to move on. We need to sing this, and then we need to have a look at as much of the fifth movement as we can. So can I invite you, please, altos, have a drink of water, rehydrate yourselves. I'm going to do that. Excuse me. So back to page 6, please. We're going to sing all the way through. And in fact, having said page 6, I'm actually going to start it on page 5, just before the end. 5 bars before the end. So if you can read music, by all means turn on to page 5. If not, just start on page 6 and I'll bring you in the right place. Okay? So, back to the overture. Excuse me a second, I'm just going to have to start it and then stop it. There we go. So, 3... Ooh, accidentally clicking on apps I don't need. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go straight in at the 5 bars before the end of the overture and then have fun. All right, remember at the start, massive drama. Help, Lord. Yeah, a populace stricken with suffering and a plague. Very timely work. Right, here we go. 4 bars. 3 bars. 2. That's your note in the basses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lord. 2, 3, 4. Lord. 2, 3, 4. Lord. With the quiet destroy us. Now the tenors. The harvest now is over, the summer days are gone. That's your note. 2, 3. The harvest now is over, the summer days are gone, and yet no power cometh to help us. 3, 4, 1. And yet no power cometh to help us. No power cometh to help us. The harvest now is over. The summer days are gone. 2, 3, 4. And yet no power cometh to help us. And yet no power cometh to help us. No power cometh to help us. 3. The harvest now is over, the summer days are gone, and yet no power cometh to help us. The harvest now is over, the harvest now is over. Will then the Lord be God in Zion? And will then the Lord be no more God in Zion? Same notes. Will then the Lord be no more God in Zion? And in Zion. 4, 1, 2. The harvest now is over, the summer days are gone, and yet no power cometh to help us. Will then the Lord be no more God in Zion? The harvest now is over. 3, 4. The harvest now is over. It's over. The summer days are gone, and yet no power cometh to help us. Sopranos. Tenors. One, 2. The suckling's tongue now cleaveth for thirst to his mouth. one.
And there is no one.
Wonderful. That then moves straight into Lord, bow thine ear to our prayer. Goodness me, a really, really challenging but fun movement. I hope you'll agree, some wonderful alto lines. My goodness. So look, we've got 10 minutes left, altos, so we're not going to get through the fifth movement. I think that was a bit ambitious. Didn't get through with the sopranos either. Probably will with the T's and B's, because we don't have that second part to learn in Zion Spreadeth. But what we'll do is we'll start with the bits that we don't finish this week in next week's rehearsal. So as I did with the sops yesterday, could I ask everybody, please, actually we've got an extra 2 minutes, can you turn to page 24, please, altos? This movement, if you remember from Monday's launch, this is in 3 sections. Okay, you've got an angry first section in C minor, yet doth the Lord see it not, he mocketh at us, very, very dramatic. Then you have a middle section. After all this, till he destroy us. The middle section is like a chorale.
For he, the Lord our God, is a jealous God,
and so on. And then you have the most sublime section to finish. We start in C minor, we finish in C major. His mercies on thousands fall. It's absolutely sublime. So let's start with the chorale, can we please, at the bottom of 24. And what we're going to do, we're going to sing this through quickly, and when we perform it in a minute with the recording, we'll sing it through at proper speed. But if we go, for he the, well, it'll take the rest of the rehearsal. So we're going to sing, for he the Lord our God, and for he the Lord our God, and then he is a jealous God, and he is a jealous God. So from the start of that line, for he, and 1. For he the Lord our God, he is a jealous God. Over the page, please, and then, and he visiteth all the father's sins. Okay, let's sing this, please. I do appreciate it's at a fast tempo, but it helps us learn it. And 2. And he visiteth all the father's sins. And then, on the children to the 3rd and the 4th generation of them that hate him. Okay, so let's break that last bit up into bits. So can we have, I'll teach you now, on the children to the 3rd and the 4th generation. Okay, so it's on the children to the 3rd. Let's just sing that. And 1, 2. On the children to the 3rd. And then, and the 4th generation. Listen. And 1. And the 4th generation. And then, of them that hate him. And of them that hate him. Super. Can we sing the whole thing, please, from For He the Lord our God? After 1, from the bottom of 24, and 1. For he the Lord our God, he is a jealous God, and he visiteth all the father's sins on the children to the 3rd and the 4th generation done. Now, look, if you don't mind, altos, we're going to go over by 5 minutes because I want to make sure we get to the end of this movement. If you need to go at 6 p.m. on the dot, absolutely fine. We'll be here recorded waiting for you. But if you don't mind hanging on, it is worth it, I promise you. We'll sing now His Mercies on Thousands Fall. Because this is just amazing. So going on from the bottom of 25, we sing after 1, and when we're in 2 it's 1. His mercies on thousands fall. Sing with me. And His mercies on thousands fall. Then it's His mercies on thousands fall. And His mercies on thousands fall. Great. Okay. And then I'll sing now from Fall on All Them That Love Him and Keep His Commandments. So everything from the middle of 26 is Fall on all them that love Him and keep His commandments. So from Fall on All, and 1, 2, fall on all them that love Him and keep His commandments. Thank you, altos. You're doing really, really well. We've got 2 pages left. There's a little bit of movement here, but most of this is by step, what follows. So that you've got the last note of 26 going on to 27. And what I'll do is I'll sing you the first statement of His mercies on thousands fall, which goes, His mercies on thousands fall. Okay, I think the trickiest thing with that is just where to place the words, the syllables, rather than the notes. So listen to me sing it again. 1, 2. His mercies on thousands fall. Sing with me, please, from that last note of 26. 1, 2. His mercies on thousands fall. And then, His mercies on thousands fall, on a thousands fall. Let's sing that together. Top of 27, the last bar with the upbeat. His mercies. 1, 2. His mercies on thousands fall, on a thousands fall. And now, because the thing is, this is all musically, it feels to me like leaves falling from the tree. So we get His mercies on thousands fall. Da 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 da. How's that for an alto line? Sing for me, please, from His mercies in the middle of 27. It's the 4th bar in the middle of 27. And 1. His mercies on thousands fall. Fab then. On thousands fall. Sing that for me. And 1. On thousands fall. And then we sing, on a thousands fall, on a thousands fall. Sing with me that last note on 27. 1. Oh, hang on, no, sorry. Let's go back to the last on thousands fall on 27. Sorry, so the 2.5 bars before the end. Okay, after 1 and 1. On thousands fall, on a thousands fall, on a thousands fall. And then this next bit is my favourite bit. Altos, you sing 1. His mercies on a thousands fall. Sing for me from the top of 28, 4th bar, and 1. His mercies on a thousands fall. You then sing, His mercies on a thousands fall. Sing for me from the middle of 28, 4th bar, and 1. His mercies on a thousands fall. And then just the last statement, His mercies on a thousands fall. And His
His mercies on thousands fall.
Wow. Thank you so much, Altos. Now, I know we've overrun. Will you indulge me while we sing together from that amazing chorale, For He the Lord our God? So turn to page 24, rehydrate yourselves, and we'll sing this to the end, and then I will let you go. Thank you so much for your patience and your excellent work this evening. We will finish. We'll do that first section. That'll be the first thing we do next week. And then we've got some lovely music, things like For He Shall Give His Angels Charge Over Thee. Absolutely. As we say here in Bristol in the West Country, lush. So, here we go. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to turn it down to start this because it's very loud and skip on to the chorale. So, bear with me a second. Yes, thank you. This is. Okay, 4 bars in, 2 bars. There's your note. And.
For He the Lord our God, He is our generous God, and He visiteth all the sins on the children to the third and the fourth generation of them that hate Him.
And 1.
His mercies on thousands fall. His mercies on thousands fall. Fall on all them that love Him and keep His commandments.
1, 2.
His mercies on thousands fall. His mercies on thousands fall. On thousands fall. His mercies on thousands fall. On thousands fall. On thousands fall. On thousands.
Now break my heart, Altos.
His mercies on thousands fall. His mercies on thousands fall. His mercies on thousands fall.
Oh my goodness. I've been listening to that recording for 25 years, more. That never fails to just fill me with joy and an absolute ecstasy. What an amazing piece. Well, look, Altos, thank you so much for your patience. I'm sorry we've overrun by 5 minutes, but I think you'll agree, having just sung that, it was worth it. So look, I will see you, officially, I'll see you on Monday, and we will sing back through these. Obviously, we haven't learnt the beginning of Yet Doth the Lord See It Not, so we'll make that the priority at the start of next week's rehearsal. However, if you'd like to come along and get a little bit of a preview, join us tomorrow for the tenors rehearsal and the basses on Friday, where we will probably have time to go through this in a little bit more detail, just so you get a sense of how it sounds. Otherwise, have a great rest of the week. Whatever you've got planned, I hope it goes really, really well. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you next week. Got some lovely, lovely music. So take care, everybody. Be well, and we will see you soon. All the best. Bye-bye.